Hello everyone, welcome back to Bits and Bob's Divination. My name is Caitlin, and today we're going to be reading into any energy, insights, or guidance coming in for your week ahead. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so welcome back to each of you who join me for these weekly readings every single week. You guys know who you are, and I know I say it every single time, but I feel like it's so important to thank you guys because you guys are the ones supporting me so wholly, and I just appreciate it so much. So I feel like it's important to always let you guys know how much you are appreciated. And to those of you who are new and have just joined in on these weekly readings or my other types of readings, welcome. It's lovely to have you guys here. We're growing a very small but very wonderful and beautiful community here on YouTube, and I'd love to have you guys join. So I do these weekly readings every single Monday, as well as timeless readings, and I do a blessings or monthly blessings video every single month. So if you're interested in any of that, as well as charm casting, because I don't only just use tarot and oracle here, then feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of each of these videos, because YouTube does like to make things very difficult, and if you hit the notification bell, it really does make sure that you can be notified of each of my videos. So those of you who have not only subscribed but hit the bell, I appreciate it so much. So before I even talk about each of the piles, I do want to just mention that I have a cold right now, so if I sound different than I normally do, or if there's weird jump cuts or strange, like weird sentences that get cut off or whatever that I decide to do in editing, it's probably because I was coughing or clearing my throat or anything like that. So I hope you guys don't mind the weirdness that might happen. I'm going to try to keep it pretty clean and organized for you guys here today, because I'm not going to let this stop me from being able to show you your guys' wonderful piles, because I actually do film these intros after I've done your piles. That way you can feel all of the wonderful energy, and we have great piles here today. Very excited for each of you, so let's go ahead and look at them. So for pile number 1, we have here a necklace with a black chain, and it is this rutilated quartz. So there's these little rutilated pieces within the quartz piece here. So if you're interested or feel connected to this specific piece, then this might be the pile for you. So that is pile number 1 there. For pile number 2 or group 2, you can be choosing this sort of silver chain, as well as this, I believe it is an oak leaf. Let me know in the comments below if you know, but I got this in Colorado, if that helps for resonating, but it also is a leaf that had been poured metal on top of, so it is a specific actual leaf with metal over the top of it, which I think is pretty cool. So that is pile 2. And for pile 3 here, we have this very, very long chain with this like almost coin purse style. Let me see if I can open it. Coin purse style of a shell. This is a real shell. I'm trying to be careful with it. A real shell that you can wear as a necklace as well, and hold random little things in here and trinkets. I feel like it's so magical. So that is group 3. So that's piles 1, 2, and 3. And as always, let's go ahead and take a deep breath together so that you can make a better decision on which pile is for you. First, I'm going to make sure that the video decides to focus. I believe that is in focus, so let's go ahead and take that deep breath together now so you can make a better decision on which pile is for you and let your intuition really kick in. So if you already know which pile is for you, feel free to go down in the description and you can find the timestamps to each of the specific piles, as well as use the chapter marks within the video so you can go straight to your pile. If you're having a hard time, feel free to pause, maybe even put your hand or your finger over the screen. I usually do it based off intuition, so if I feel like a tingle or like just this feeling, this gut feeling that one of them is drawing me more, then that might be a signal for you. But just make your best judgment. You can choose all 3 piles, 2 of the piles, 1 of the pile. Do whatever your intuition is calling for you. There's no right or wrong way to do this. And with all of that said, let's go ahead and get started with pile number 1. Hello group 1, if you've decided to choose this piece of quartz wrapped up in this necklace, then this is the pile for you. So I'll set your little necklace right down here so you can see it during the reading. Today we're going to be using the charms, the watercolor affirmations, as well as the Melodies deck and the Muse Tarot, but we're also going to be using this new Spellcasting Oracle card set that I got recently and have fallen in love with, so I am glad to share some of these messages with you guys today. As I mentioned in the intro, my nose is all stuffy. I've got, my throat's kind of dry. So if there are weird pauses or weird cuts, just ignore them. It's probably just because I was coughing or something. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started with your weekly messages, group 1. So we're looking for any energy, insights, or guidance coming in for group 1. I'm going to just take all of those because that was a huge clump. So any energy, insights, or guidance here for group 1. We're looking for any energy, insights, or guidance for group 1. Okay, I was feeling this card here. So here you guys have the moon, which is number 18. So if that resonates for any of you, that is the number for the moon. Let's see your next card here. So group 1, we're looking for any energy, insights, or guidance coming in for group 1's week ahead. So again, another one here. So we have temperance. The number for temperance is 14, in case that correlates to any of you. Sometimes the numbers can be dates within the month or within the week that we're currently on. They can also have to do with like when that energy could be coming in, birth dates, anything like that. So that's just another layer to be looking out for. So let's go ahead and look for that last card here for you, group 1. We're looking for group 1's week ahead, the week ahead for group 1. Any energy, insights, or guidance coming in for group 1's week ahead, the week ahead for group 1. You also have here the 9 of voices. So that gives you both 9, 8, and 4, because you have 18 and 14 there. So let's go ahead and do a Melodies message here for your week, group 1. We're looking for the energy for group 1. You guys have here direction. Trust your inner compass and find your bearings. And then there's a compass here. So it's asking you to trust in yourself and trust in the direction in which you are going. So there's definitely a direction in which you are moving in this week. There is movement to your week. So our last deck here is that Spellcasting deck. I'm going to actually do it this direction. I find it easier to shuffle as I have smaller hands. But group 1, we're looking for any energy, insights, or guidance coming in for group 1's week ahead, the week ahead for group 1. Any energy, insights, or guidance coming in for group 1. Alright, so you have 2 cards here, actually. So you have both talent and manifestation. So with direction, manifestation, and talent, I feel like you might be working towards a goal for sure. Something possibly more creative, with the moon being such a creative element, especially this pink moon, but let's go ahead and look at your last message here, as we still have the message of your watercolor affirmations. So group one, we're looking for any energy, insights, or guidance coming in for group one's week ahead. The week ahead for group one. Any energy, insights, or guidance for group one's week ahead messages. All right, so you have two that were upwards or upright, and you have don't waste a today with a tomorrow. And then you also have here find, seek, and connect. So this is more of a networking sort of card. So it represents, seeking and connecting connections with other people. So that can be connections online. It can be connections in person through the way that you communicate and have relationships with other people. But you also have don't waste a today with a tomorrow, which is all about just seizing the moment. It's a sort of a carpe diem card. It's sort of telling you to just seize the moment, seize the week, because you can really utilize every moment. It doesn't always mean that you have to be working or being insanely productive, but just that, don't waste. Even a quiet moment isn't something that you have to waste, you know what I mean? Because you do have let's actually talk about here first. So you have the Nine of Voices. And so the Nine of Voices represents when, our anxieties, our fears, our doubts for the future or for our projects or for where you are moving and what direction you are moving in start to creep in, right? So they're starting to creep in, taking over some of your thoughts, your absent thoughts. So these are like less of your conscious thoughts. They're like with those, when you're your mind trails off and your brain starts to just think things, and then all of a sudden you're thinking about every little doubt, every little detail before you even knew you were thinking about it. So this is about needing to slow down, realize when those thoughts come in, because a lot of the time it's before bed or before you're about to relax and you're not able to, because the Nine of Voices, as you can see, they're trying to sleep, they're trying to have that time, but then there's this interruption that comes in and makes this web that starts to tie in here for your thoughts and your dreams. And especially with the moon, which has more dreamy elements, I feel like it can be happening at night. So during the night, when you have these thoughts coming in, the best thing to do is to try to either first notice that they're even happening, because sometimes we just don't notice that we have these train of thoughts sort of taking in, because they're sort of weaving a web before you even realize they're there. It's kind of like when you walk into a web. I don't know if anyone's ever done that, walking into a spider web. It's like you're very aware it's there once you have, but it's very invisible until you notice it. So you might be having those fears or anxieties coming in, those doubts coming in, but the most important thing is it's just your mind creating a narrative that you don't necessarily, that isn't really true. It's just your brain sort of cycling through things throughout the day, and so you just need a way to sort of calm those back down. And especially since you have like the moon, which can sometimes make us more emotional, think about all those doubts, put those in perspective. And it could even, because the moon also can add illusion to our week, so it can shine a not entirely true light on things. It can exaggerate shadows, exaggerate doubts, exaggerate our fears. So the moon sometimes can be really helpful, especially with manifestation and magic and work in that, which I totally think you could turn and use in to your advantage. As we are in this current moment when this goes up, for the specific week that this goes up, although it is timeless when you watch this at any time. So if you're near the full moon, this can, disregard this message. But as we are heading towards the waxing side of the moon again, it might just mean that those full moon energies are starting to stir up within you. So by the full moon, be aware of those, as they're coming in. But Temperance also showcases this moon cycle, right? But the moon cycle is a lot slower. You can see her carefully caressing it, and they also have the sunshine there too. So it's having two sides to everything. You have the night with the day, the moon with the sun, and the temperance is just putting and mixing things together. So it's a mixing of sorts. So it also is a very, very chill, time, so you can find those bearings within you to root yourself to something. I think it's important to root yourself to something this week because you have a lot of energy that's sort of more in flux or in flow, which is great, but you still need something to anchor yourself. And I think that comes with this new direction that you might be taking on, and maybe even seeking out, because you have talent in something. And I don't personally love the word talent because I feel like talent means that you didn't have to achieve it yourself, that you didn't put in the hours of work and the time that you have. But other people see it as a talent, right? So it's from an outside's perspective. So you might personally be seeing other people and thinking, wow, they're so talented, how am I supposed to ever get to that point? But you're working towards a talent of sorts. You're working in a direction towards this new goal, and you have to be a beginner at something before you can be at the top of your game. The full moon doesn't just appear right after the new moon. You have to go through all those cycles, through this mixing, through this experimenting and connecting with other people, asking questions, to move yourself forward. And if you work with any sort of magic, especially since this is the spellcasting deck, if you work with any magic or anything like that, or manifestation, law of attraction, anything like that, this would be a great week to be working on some of that to help manifest the direction in which you're wanting to go, or even make plans for it. For the full moon would be really helpful for you, because I think you guys can be a really, really awesome manifester. Manifestation just means you're kind of working halfway with the universe. So you're asking the universe for something, but you're also having to put the work in as well. And so it's like you're meeting the universe halfway. So part of it is your own magical self asking for this help, and through spell work, through law of attraction, manifestation, those sorts of things. But it can also be just asking that of the universe, and then you have to put the work in too. So I think you're working towards a goal. It's not really stating what the goal is for you, but you definitely have a knack or a talent to be illuminating this week, illuminating for yourself, manifesting it into something that's plausible for you, because you might have had doubts about it, might have felt like you couldn't be there, but I think you guys have the ability to go towards this goal, towards this new direction. There's not really any reason not to, other than the doubts that are trying to sort of put these webs in your mind. And when you take away that illusion, and you're able to kind of see things more clearly, and not just with the moonlight, but with the sunlight, seeing things more clearly and less illusion, then you'll be able to sort of see the true message there of what direction you want to go in, how to manifest that into your life, and to know that you truly do have the talent for it, the knack for it. So with all of that said, let's go ahead and look at your Charms Group 1, because you have a very interesting week. I want to know maybe more on what this exact talent is and any other information we have coming in for your week. So because I'm feeling a little bit like coffee and stuff, I'm going to go ahead and just stir over here slightly off camera. And then toss down. So group one, you're looking for any information, insights, guidance, or energy on the week for group one. Okay, so let's go ahead and pick up some of these so we can look at the true message here for you, because you have quite a few that were upside down, turned around in some way. But yeah, let's go ahead and look at these messages. So first off, you have here, actually let's zoom you in because I don't want you guys to not be able to see what's going on first. So first off, that all zoomed in. Let's talk about what's in the center here. So you have here in your central ring the Tower or Persistence charm. The Tower represents like a needing to break something down from a foundation so you can build it back up again. So with talent, like we were seeing here earlier, and with that 9 of voices, I think what you need to be breaking down is this idea that you're not allowed to have these talents, or that maybe you had a talent in the past and you're feeling like you're not allowed to be anything but that. Like, I'm personally an artist, but say I wanted to be a scientist, but everyone's like, no, you can't be that. Or you maybe will have doubts about even trying something completely out of a field you already have talent in. And it's time to just break down some of those ideas, break down some of those thoughts that are sort of manipulating you, holding you back, putting in all of these webs that are sort of tying you up. So just breaking down some of that can create enough space so that you can let this talent come through. Because you also have the hippie flower, and I think of this as like things that are colorful, things that are very creative, you're growing creatively, growing some new passion, some new talent, especially since these colors really resonate with this card for me. I feel like this is this new talent that you're trying to bring forth, that you're trying to manifest forward, that you're trying to move in a direction for, but you have to break down these barriers that are holding you back so that you have to build from a new foundation, right? Like I was talking before, a talent just doesn't come out of nowhere. You have to, fail and try and just give it a go, before you can say that the tower is yours. You also have this little gun here, but I think of it as like you're jumping the gun on something. You're trying to be too fast, be too quick, trying to get to something that isn't ready yet. So like I was saying, talent takes time. You have to grow from the bottom up. You can't just get to the top and get all the benefits there. You have to grow in this new passion of yours, and jumping the gun won't really get you to where you want. You'll just be passing over wonderful steps that are going to get you to a much better, fulfilling place. Just realized this peace sign was over here. You also have Haya, and this represents someone coming into your life to say hello. So this could be old friends, long distance friends, people you haven't talked to in a long time. This can be through emails, through actual letters, through a text message, or in person. But you also have thou shalt not kill. So this doesn't mean you're killing anyone, doesn't mean anyone's being killed. It just means someone's trying to like take down your vibe. They're trying to like kind of kill your vibe. So if someone is coming in that isn't really good for you, possibly toxic for you, maybe even planting these doubts within you, they're just not good for you this week. So kind of push them away, let them go and fall to the wayside, because this is representing selfless acts. But sometimes you have to be a little selfish, tell people, or not even selfish, just stand up for yourself, empower yourself, and tell people like, yo, I don't need you to be coming in and telling me what I can and cannot accomplish, especially since, again, we have a crescent moon here and then the crescent moon charm. So this has to do more with those talents that you're at the beginning of. This crescent moon starts right after this new moon cycle, which we've just hit this new moon as of when I post this. So you're moving into a new cycle of your life, a new exciting adventure, a new direction. And if people aren't on board with that, then that's just their problem and not yours. Don't let them feed these doubts within you, because it's not going to help you and it's not going to really help them either. You also have the poodle here, which just represents like beauty and like creating something out of something else, but mostly I just see it as beauty, or trying to beautify yourself, be a little bit more like, if you're interested in anything like that, like beauty magic, it could be a great way to manifest something. If you're interested in like haircuts as well, so you might be getting a haircut, or purging something of some sort too, because you're purging something so that you can move to something better. Like when you get a haircut, everyone typically, if it's a good haircut, feels better about themselves because you feel more confident, you feel like you got something off your shoulders. So that's the same thing that you're getting here out of this charm. So you might be getting a new haircut, a new style, a new look, beautifying yourself, or letting yourself have that self-love moment for your body and your physical side of yourself, as well as inward beauty. You also have the scaredy cat. So this represents being scared of something, not really going towards something, and especially since I think some of these doubts were in your mind previously to this new cycle, you might have felt like you couldn't make a move, because this is basically the forward movement charm. So it represents forward movement, a movement forward or a step forward. So you're trying to move in a new direction, like this card of the direction was talking about, but you just have to trust that this is what you want to do, and don't let, again, those doubts feed in. You also have the finance charm, but this represents some finances that are sort of holding you back, chaining you back. You're feeling a little like weighed down by them, which happens to a lot of us. Financial issues, bills, things like that can stack up in the everyday and make that exciting new talent or flower feel a little dull. So you might be feeling like that also could be feeding into those doubts that you are having, because maybe what you're wanting to accomplish in this new direction maybe it doesn't give you as much finances, or it might even mess with some of what you've already been working towards. So you don't have to do it all at once. Like I was saying, you can take it in small steps. If you're in between jobs because of this, or if you're wanting to go full on, it's kind of urging you to take things a lot slower, especially with don't waste it today with tomorrow. That represents taking things day by day by day, because if you're trying to jump everything too fast, I think that's when these can be coming in and that direction could get blurred. So definitely let it come in when it needs to. Let that transition be a little bit less like, new moon, full moon, very like intense and abrupt. Mix it up, but let it also have that fade that you need. You also have merry down here with this tree, which represents being merry and bright, feeling, some of those, it doesn't have to be Christmas, but holidays, traditions, some of those might be coming in for you. So celebrations, traditions, traditional ways of thinking as well might be having to do with your week. And then you also have the roses. So this could be to do with that beauty, more self-love kind of vibe, but it also represents romance. So you don't really have any other charms pointing towards romance, so it might just be a smaller message for a very small few of you, but what you might be wanting to go towards might have more to do with a romance versus financial. So especially since these both fell on, one side of this little pie piece, I feel like some of you might have to do more to finances that might be bringing these doubts, or it might have more to do with more heart related events, either platonically or romantically with someone. So with all of that said, I'm going to go ahead and do a recap real quickly here for you, group 1. You have both find, seek, connect, and don't waste it today with tomorrow. So taking things slow, one day by day, like this don't jump the gun kind of vibe is happening. Find, seek, and connect. Maybe that has to do with connecting with these people who maybe aren't trying to sort of rain on your parade. So don't let them come in and feed this 9 of voices within you. Let things fade. Let things mix it up without feeling like you have to go from black to white. It's more of a mixing. It takes time. You also have direction, trust your inner compass and find your bearings. So this represents, needing to take that time that you need to do, but having that trust in yourself that this is an actual talent or thing that you want to go towards, to be talented in, to achieve. So let that come in. I think this is really exciting. Let me know in the comments what this is if you know. Then you also have the moon here. And the moon represents things sometimes being illuminated, but sometimes it represents also things being put in a false perspective. So again, making your doubts and your fears feel bigger than they are. So instead of using that energy in a doubtful way, use it in a manifestation way. So using it more magically, using that energy to fuel you rather than hinder you. So that is all of your messages here for you Group 1. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Please let me know if you like this video by giving this video a like. It really does help the channel and lets me know that you enjoyed these videos and this reading. So thank you to those of you who have already liked the video. I truly do appreciate it so much. Also, if you would like to leave a comment down below, I would appreciate it as well, because I love chatting and creating a community space here for us to all chat. I'm just a regular person here who likes to read here for you guys. So I'd love to know what these talents are, anything like that. Let me know in the comments down below. And lastly, if you are new to the channel, welcome. It's lovely to have you here. I hope you enjoyed your first or couple first readings here with me. I like to do readings for timeless monthly readings, and I also do these every single Monday, these weekly readings, and I'm trying to mix up some more content, but things have been really crazy over here and haven't had the chance so far. But if you'd like to stay tuned for any of that, please be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be notified of all of my uploads and readings. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Wishing you guys a wonderful week, and bye. Hello, Group 2. If you've decided to choose this necklace, which is I believe an oak leaf that's been sort of melted with all of this really beautiful metal, then this is the pile for you. So I'll set that right down here so you can see it during your reading. Today we're going to be using the charms, the watercolor affirmations, the Muse Tarot deck, as well as the Melodies Oracle, and today we're also going to be using this Spellcasting Oracle card set, which I have not used on camera before, but have recently received and am so excited to show them to you guys. So we'll see how those go today for you guys, but we're going to go ahead and start with your tarot messages. As I mentioned in the intro, I definitely have a cold, so please excuse as I have some weird jump cuts or anything like that, because I'm probably just coughing off camera. But let's see what messages you have coming in. A cold ain't gonna stop me. So let's go ahead and look into them. All right, so Group 2, we're looking for Group 2's messages. I feel like it's the bottom one. So you have here the 10 of Materials, a lovely card. See what else. So Group 2, we're looking for any insights, energy, guidance, or information that's coming in on your week for your highest and greatest good. Group 2. You're looking for any energy, insights, or guidance on Group 2's week ahead. The week ahead for Group 2. You also have here the Ace of Materials. What a lovely 2 cards to get together. It's a nice little set. And let's see your last message here. Group of the tarot anyway. Group 2. Group 2. We're looking for any information on the energy, insights, or guidance coming in for the highest and greatest good of Group 2. All right, here you guys have the 6 of Voices here. So you have the 6 of Voices, the Ace of Materials, and 10. So 1, 10, and 6. Let's see your Melodies message here real quick. Group 2. We're looking for any energy, insights, or guidance coming in for Group 2's week ahead. Group 2's week ahead, any information. So you got 2 here that have fallen. So you have, interesting that it would fall even on the 6 of Voices, you have move, barnacles only grow on a docked ship, and the 6 of Voices is all about movement, a change of scenery, a change of place. And then you also have strength. Stay afloat and feel steady and calm. And then there's another boat reference, because the 6 of Voices is usually represented with a boat. And then there's this boat moving. So you have the strength to move somewhere this week. So that's exciting. And let's go ahead and see your last message here with the Spellcasting Oracle cards. I'm actually going to do them this way because I find it easier to do it long ways because I have pretty small hands. But we're looking for any messages on energy, insights, or guidance for Group 2's week ahead. Any weekly messages for their highest and greatest good for Group 2's week ahead. Group 2, Group 2. Okay, there we go. So you have here, that's so interesting that I was talking about confidence too with strength. You have confidence and then these flying messages too. This confidence is just emanating and like emitting like a force to be reckoned with within this figure here. So that is wonderful. Super excited to see that for you guys for your week. Confidence, move, strength, the Ace of Materials, the Ten of Materials, and the Six of Voices. Let's see your last message here before we do the charms later on. Group 2. We're looking for any information, insights, or guidance on Group 2's week ahead. Group 2's week ahead. All right, so you have quite a few here. So we'll look at each of them. You have growth has to begin somewhere, and I was feeling that already from the Ace to the 10. So it looks like little rings on a tree. It's not really wanting to show up. There you go. It's like little rings on a tree. Like you have to start from within before you can get anywhere else. This is a very interesting message because I felt like Group 1 had a similar message. So feel free to check out Group 1 too if you feel like it's not fully resonating or if you want to get more information on your week. You also have find that way to rekindle that fire inside you. So this is a very inspired, almost wand sort of card. That confidence that comes in as well. And then you have it takes a village. So sometimes it takes a lot of help from other people to get you to where you want to go. And that's okay to ask for help, if you need to. Ask for help for literally if you're moving right now. It can be difficult to ask people for help, but if you have that confidence, that strength, that resilience, then you're going to be able to move no matter what. You're going to be able to move mountains, move with confidence and grace. Because let's just start to talk about some of this, because where are you moving? What are you trying to move? What are you trying to build confidence in? And that's where this Ace of Materials and Ten of Materials comes in, right? We just noticed it's very out of focus. Let's try to focus it back down real quick. All right, so hopefully that looks a little bit clearer. But we have the Ace of Materials and Ten of Materials here. And the Ten of Materials talks about a community, as you're seeing, like it takes a village, it takes a community. That's literally almost being showcased in two different ways here. But the Ten of Materials talks about family life as well. But it also can be like, especially with this Ace, that you are not even necessarily comparing, but you might be getting help from family to make a really big new financial decision in your life or new materialistic decision. So this can be moving house. You might be moving into a new house because an Ace represents a new beginning, a new materialistic beginning. So that can represent a new job, a new promotion, a new step forward financially in something, maybe getting a second job or, changing jobs, or it can even be if you're going to school right now, changing your major, changing something up in some way. You're moving from one thought or idea to something else. So it can be house, moving, anything like that that's on a more tangible level. You also have here, since you have the Ten of Materials, it does represent your family. So your family might be pretty wealthy. It might be that you want to be at this point, right? Because you have growth has to begin somewhere. So especially if you're in school right now, or if you're just starting this new journey towards something new, especially if maybe you even have gotten to the top of the totem pole in something and you're wanting to start entirely in some new career or new job, something you've never tried before, then this is also urging you to just go ahead and try it, or at least start looking into it, because growth has to begin somewhere. And sometimes you have to talk to that village, talk to your family, your friends, your coworkers, ask your boss, other people who have to do with this situation that you're trying to move towards and emanate forward this new beginning. That is where you're going to need that confidence to just ask those questions, to try something new. Because if you're not able to ask those questions, then you're not able to open yourself up to just try. So here you have confidence, right? You just look like you could just take on the world. You really could move those mountains. So again, you could just be moving house, so you might not need all of that confidence for something like that, although it does take confidence to buy a house or buy something new, especially with the pandemic and everything. I understand that's got to be hard. So if you have that confidence and that strength and actual strength too, if you're moving with all those moving boxes, I think you guys, honestly, I'm not even worried. I think you guys got this. You're just trying to make that move, and I think a lot of it just takes asking for help this week and letting that move come in, because you have that 6 of voices, and as you can see, they're having to leap over all these sharp points. You have to literally move those mountains, but if you ask for that help, it's going to make it so much smoother, so much easier for you to get to where you want to go. Asking advisors, if you're at school, asking your boss, asking coworkers, asking other people in the field that you'd like to maybe move into, other homeowners, anything like that, that you're trying to materialistically move into, that mindset or that place, then you definitely have the ability to do so with that confidence. And you also have this little card, right? And it says, find that way, or find the way to rekindle that fire inside you. So this also, I feel like, is just talking about that fire within you, that confidence within you to let whatever this is flourish, because the Ace of Materials is very much about flourishing, of abundance and financial gain and prosperity, both in family and finances. So that's why I feel like it could be a move, or it could be educational, or within your workplace. So if you have that strength, that confidence, that's when you can literally rekindle with what's growing, a new place for yourself, a fire of confidence and excitement within you to move forward into this new exciting, eventful place. So with all of that said, let's go ahead and look at your charms, because you guys have such a fun week. I'm so excited for you guys, because you have this ace and this movement and confidence and strength, and it just feels like you guys really got this, right? I feel like you guys are afloat on this already, and you have already plans, and it's just setting those plans to motion. And I think that's where you're sort of at right now, and it's just having the confidence to make that step. Alright, so usually I pick up the charms and hold them for you, but because I've got this cold, I feel like I'm just going to leave them right here. So I'm going to go ahead and mix them right here for us today. So group 2, we're looking for any information, energy, insights, or guidance for group 2's week ahead. The week ahead for group 2. The week ahead for group 2. Alrighty. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up the ones that fell upside down, as always, first. And then we can go from there, so we can see what all of this is about. So you have quite a few here. So be looking into all of these messages in a moment. So you guys have very different messages, not very different, but you have new messages that have come in that we haven't really spoken on yet. So you guys have an eventful week and things that are coming in. So let's look a little closer. So you can see all of what there is with your charms. Again, if anything is cut off, I always make sure to move it forward so you guys aren't missing out. So first off, you have the, what does it say? Imagine, dream, and believe charm. So I love this charm. It represents going for your dreams, going for those things that you truly love, really letting yourself have it. And right, like there's so many people in life that just, settle, and this is your chance to not settle on something, to like really light that fire and move forward with that exciting dream and imagining it, believing it, moving it forward. A movement is so important. You also have both 6 and 12 coming up. So again, more of that 6 of voices coming in because you already had a 6 come in for your week. So that's more on your 6 of voices, but you have 12, which is doubled with 6. So more movement, and you had movement not only once, but twice already. So the fact that you had that sort of double aligning, there's definitely some sort of physical movement that could be happening as well. So it's not just movement, of like job or career or place like that, something that's less like actually moving from one place to place, but it can also represent traveling. So if you are traveling, as always, be safe with the climate that we really have going on right now, but you do have some sort of sense of a new adventure, something you're taking flight in, you're moving towards, because you have the independence charm that happens with this bird who's independent and confident to move forward, especially since birds also move in not really packs and fleets. That's what I'm trying to come up with. And you had that confidence coming in with those bird wings. I feel like, again, there's just so much that's aligning for you. Moving, it takes a village. So you can't just move on your own. You're going to need to ask for that help. But that doesn't mean you have to lose your independence. You also have here the saddle. So it's like getting on the saddle, get on the saddle and go kind of thing. So you got adventure, more adventure going on, a new exciting adventure. Another reason why I feel like you can really count on your friends or your family or the people that you are helping you through this transition and this exciting new movement is because you have the loyalty, friendship, and family charm or love. It's love, friendship, and loyalty. This is the Clara. I believe I'm saying it correctly. It's sort of an Irish symbol for those 3 things. So you have the hands cradling the heart, and then the little crown, which represents loyalty. So friendship and family, love, and loyalty. So there's people around you who are loyal to you and who are going to support you no matter what. So if this is a new dream, dream it big because you got people in your corner. You also have the cleaver, which represents something that is like a clean slate, a new space, a clean slate. So when you're moving from one place to place, you get to cut some of those ties, moving, to a new direction, a new space, something that you get to completely start new and fresh with. So this does represent a fresh start, a clean slate, because it's a very clean cut. So it doesn't feel like there's closure that didn't happen or unexpected, like jagged edges that make this like move really uncomfortable. It feels like you feel very comfortable and confident in it. So that's really exciting. You also have this little cluster here. So you have the dolphin, which represents communication, as dolphins are very communicative. They're very, they love to chatter, and they have good memories, and they also, it also represents just diving in. So more of that water energy of that 6 and the movement. The 6 and the 12 can also represent something more specific to you, maybe a date, a birthday, anything like that could be coming in as well. You also have next to that the letter of D. So that could be representing a father, a dad, but it also can be representing yourself or someone around you, the place in which you're moving to, a street, anything like that, a company, something like that might be coming in. Sometimes you don't know what the letters or numbers mean until afterwards. As you also have the cycles charm, so this might have been a place you've moved to before, especially since you have the cycles charm, or someone around you has moved to before, because you also have the ancestors charm, because it's a sugar skull, which represents your ancestors and also how you worship or care for them after death. So this can represent also just in general that message, and that might be coming in for you guys, some sort of ritual in that way, but that might be coming up for you. But also it can represent that where you're moving to might be somewhere that you've been to before, your ancestors or people around you that are from your family or bloodline might have been to before. Because you also have the culture charm, which represents, more of those cultures or traditions within your life. If you have any of those, that's kind of showcasing that you're going to be able to highlight on those this week. You have more of that confidence, but this represents like a positive, a gold star. You feel really positive. You feel really uplifted, confident. And then you have the clip, the lobster claw. So I think of this lobster claw clasp as being like, you've really clasped onto something really tightly because they're on it. So you're really reaching and grasping for that exciting new adventure, that what makes you happy at the very end of the day. So even if you don't go after it, you're definitely working towards it. You also have several charms here representing self-care or self-love, because you have the self-love charm right next to your intuition, which can mean maybe a self-love bath, because intuition really does have to do with the flow or water. But you have self-love again, and then you have self-care as well. So that's the self-love charm, self-care charm, and then you have music and intuition. So if you work with any music, especially if you're into shufflemancy or anything like that, that could be really interesting to work with this week for self-love. But music is going to be really healing for you this week, or could be really exciting to help bring that positivity in, especially if you've had any doubts in the past, because you have here the reindeer, which represents, movement again, but it also represents having the belief to move yourself forward too. It's got sort of the fool energy, right? So this is believing in yourself, believing that you can make this move, make this leap, make this jump forward, because there might have been doubts before, because this is your doubts, your fears, that black hole that tries to suck away all that happiness. But you're really grasping for it. I'm not too worried, because that deer really did fall over the top of it. So I think you're ready for that leap. And the last couple charms you have here, you have the bolt. So this represents bolting yourself down to an idea. Nothing else is really near it. So this can just represent grounding at the very least this week, using grounding techniques if you feel like you might be getting a little too flighty or a little too nerved. So that could be helpful. You also have the jealousy heart. So if you feel like there was something that you've got sort of the caution hat next to it. So if you feel like there's someone around you who's also moving forward, or you feel like there's a reason to be jealous of someone for any reason, it's sort of cautioning you to let some of that go. It never really helps anyone to be jealous or to be, jealousy just doesn't really help anyone. So I'm going to go ahead and do your recap here very quickly. Group 2. So basically, there's so much movement that your family and friends are going to be helping you with. You're rekindling a fire within you, and that it's going to take time. Growth is not going to happen all at once, but you seem determined, right? So people are going to be helping you with that. You have the confidence. You have the, where's the strength card here? You have the strength, stay afloat and feel steady and calm within it. So I feel like you guys are just floating along, letting this happen. And the reason why it's so smooth is because you're asking for that help where you need to. So you're at a new exciting path. I'm so excited. Please let me know in the comments down below what this is, or anything similar. I'd love to know about these charms, or, leave a comment. I'd love to know. But with all of that said, I hope you guys enjoyed the reading. Like I said, please be sure to leave a comment. I'd love to have that conversation and just chat about all of this, because it's so exciting. And I'd be really interested to know. But also, please be sure to give this video a like. It really does help the channel and lets this channel continue to grow, and lets me know that you enjoyed the video and these types of readings. So thank you all to all of those that have already liked the video. I really do appreciate it. And lastly, if you are new to the channel, welcome, and I'm glad, or at least I am hopefully glad, that you enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to check out my other timeless and monthly readings. There's always a monthly reading out for the month. Currently it is the September reading, but whichever one it is, feel free to check it out. And I also do these Monday weekly readings every single Monday, so cold or not, I'm here. So if you're interested in any of that, please be sure to subscribe so you can join this community. It would mean so much to me, and I hope you enjoy it here. And please be sure to hit the notification bell as well so you can be notified, because YouTube doesn't always like to notify each of you of when I upload. So with all of that said, I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Hello group 3, if you've decided to choose this beautiful shell necklace with a little clasp here at the top, then this is the pile for you. Go ahead and set it down right here so you can see it during the reading. Today we're going to be using the charms, the watercolor affirmations, as well as the Melodies deck, the Muse Tarot, and we're also going to be using these Spellcasting Oracle cards. So I'm really excited to be bringing these out for you guys today because they are more recently new to me, and I'm very excited to be reading with them today. As I mentioned before in the intro, I definitely have a cold, so if there are weird jump cuts or anything strange happening, then it's just because I was probably coughing off camera or needing to blow my nose or something, so you guys don't have to hear all of that. But rain or shine, I'm here again today for you guys. I'm not gonna let no cold stop me, so let's go ahead and look at your messages, group 3, for your week, and see what you have coming in. So any energy, insights, or guidance for group 3. I think you have all 3 cards here. Oh, just 2. So you have the 7 of Inspiration. She is just moving to let that light come in, right? And then you have the 8 of Inspiration. Interesting that you would have both one right after the other. So let's see your last message here. All right, let's see that last message then. Group 3. Any information, insights, or guidance for group 3's week ahead? So here you have the Knight of Inspiration. So the Knight of Inspiration, the 7 of Inspiration, and the 8 of Inspiration. It sounds like you are ready to push forward for something. Very, very exciting news. Let's see your next message here with the Melodies to get some more information on your week. Group 3. We're looking for any information, insights, or energy for group 3's highest good and alignment. Group 3. All right, so your message here is reflect. Peer into the endless ocean and see what peers back. And there's this little hand mirror as well. So reflect has to do with, who sees us in the way that they see us. So it can represent looking at a mirror and the way that you see yourself, or it can also represent, how others are seeing you in like their perspective or reflection. But before we go into any more of that, because I'm getting ahead of myself, let's go ahead and look at your spellcasting deck message. So group 3, we're looking for any information, insights, or guidance on group 3's week ahead. The week ahead for group 3. It's really feeling this one. Oh, what a lovely card. So you also have, maybe you're even reflecting on friendships that are around you, either positively or negatively, but I do feel like you are reflecting or seeking back on memories, possibly with friends. It looks very positive, this friendship card. So there you have friendship. But let's look at your last message here before the charms later on in the video. So group 3, we're looking for any information for group 3. You also have here, pain is a part of growing. So it represents, sometimes you have to, here, let me try to get it to show up. So sometimes there's this little flower And, we have to shed things away, and sometimes that can be painful. So, like I was saying, some of you might be reflecting more negatively on some of these friendships, especially with the Seven of Inspiration, which I'll talk more on in a moment. But some of you, it might just be that, like, it can be a pain not seeing them or not being around people, especially if you're reflecting on memories with someone that was a friend to you, that maybe even was your Knight of Inspiration sort of muse in your life. But you also have here, believe in yourself. So this represents putting, not only letting other people believe in you, but the way that you see yourself, the way you reflect on yourself, the way that you view yourself has to be with that belief and confidence and faith and trust within your own abilities. And I think that's just going to help you flourish the more that you're able to do that. And lastly, here you have build healthy habits. So this can represent habits as in like building, better habits in terms of like our health physically, but it also can be mentally. So building better habits, both physically and mentally, and even spiritually, could be really helpful for you this week. So let's go ahead and talk about this Seven of Inspiration first. So I don't think you haven't been inspired for a while for an idea, but I think it's kickstarting pretty fast this week, because the Knight of Inspiration is very fast movement, right? You've got this fast flaming horse. I know I said I was going to talk about the Seven Inspiration, but I feel like I need to talk about these first. So you have this Knight of Inspiration, which represents either a person or yourself. So it could be a friend, but it also could be yourself, who either is a muse to you, or you are very inspired even by the belief in yourself, because as you can see, there's that explosion, there's fireworks, they're fast, they're furious, they're ready, they want to get started and kickstart themselves towards this direction, whatever that is that you're so inspired by. This could be a new step in life. It can be something that big, but it can also be something small, like starting a new hobby, a new exciting project, something that just inspires you, really. It just like kickstarts that exciting feeling within you. But then you have the Eight of Inspiration, which represents forward movement as well. It also represents, as you can see, very fast. They're so fast that they're fading as they go, right? Like there's such fast movement that you can't even catch them, you can't even see them. So you are definitely moving towards something, and you're moving fast with a lot of speed and intention and inspired, like fiery energy. But as you do, there are people that are maybe trying to step in the way of your path, because the Seven of Inspiration represents other people trying to voice their opinions on you, voice their doubts, voice their they're trying to just basically put you down or put you in a box, and you're opening that box. You're putting aside their fears, their doubts, because they are not yours. Some people are only bringing doubts up because they're their own doubts, but that doesn't mean they have to be yours. You don't have to have attachments to those. You can go beyond that horizon. You let that star, that inner muse, that inner inspiration reflect at everyone else the true you, because that's all you need. You only need to believe in yourself, believe in what you truly are on the inside, because if your friends maybe don't see that, especially since you have friendship here, or people that maybe are supposed to be supporting you, but maybe they aren't, then this is maybe the time to reflect into that, especially with build healthy habits, and pain is a part of growing. I think you might have to be cutting some of those people, not necessarily off, but just during this exciting time, they don't need to be a part of it if they're going to be the ones trying to hold you back, because that is definitely not what you need right now. What you need is that forward movement, that excitement, that thrill for life that you have, and hold on to it, because the more it shines, the more it gets brighter, the better you're going to feel. Because just imagine this closed and you having to be inside it, and it being closed off from you, this star, this illuminated muse within you, this inspired energy. If that's all closed off to you because of other people's ideas that they're voicing upon you, you're not going to be able to move forward or really reflect on who you are. So be honest with yourself, believe in yourself, because this is where you want to go. But you also, because you have friendships, it doesn't necessarily mean that, if you feel like your friendship with someone is going really well, then you don't need to let them outside of your life or anything like that. It's just those that are. So this can also be just talking about that you might be seeing friends this week. So this might just be a friendship card in general coming up for some of you, that you might be gathering with them, building new friendships possibly as well, or that they are very inspiring to you and possibly even guide you and help you with this light to come out, especially since that's like an inner light, and then you have this friendship card with this inner light right here. So I feel like they're trying to help lift you up. But to those that aren't, it's just really important to reflect on that and see whether or not they are or are not. So just really, that's down to you. That's some of that inner thinking that you're going to have to do this week. But with all of that said, let's go ahead and move on to your charms group 3, because I feel like almost all of the groups have very similar but slightly different messages. You all are very inspired for something. It is the week to try something new, apparently. So let's see some more information on yours. I typically pick these up, but because I have my cold today, I'm not really feeling up to it. So I'm going to leave them down here. But we'll see how that goes. Let me know if you like that better or anything like that too. But let's go ahead and mix up these charms. Group 3. Group 3, we're looking for any information, insights, or guidance for group 3. Sorry, little K decided to fall out. Group 3, we're looking for any information, insights, or guidance for group 3's week ahead. The week ahead for group 3. Okay, so let's go ahead and pick up everything that fell upside down or off of the board, because those are not messages that are really relevant for you. All right, so I will pick up all of those messages, then we can go from there. That's interesting. You have very similar messages, all of you do. Honestly, it's just been really cool to see. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and zoom you in so you can see all your messages a lot easier. Anything that is off of the screen just means that there's nothing there, so I'm not cutting off any of the charms. So first off, you have the bolt. And the bolt represents really, sticking it out and grounding yourself down in what you truly want, because you have also the cactus charm, which represents having endurance, because this, a cactus has to be somewhere a very long time. They grow there for a very long time. They have to endure rain or no rain and a lot of sun and crazy fluctuations and all that kind of stuff. It's a harsh environment, but they are, they're in it. They're rooted down. They've got this. So I feel like you're at that point where you're just, ready to take on that long haul of exciting new habits that are going to help you with this muse that you've got inside you. And that you've sort of, solidified that for yourself, because a cactus, they can withstand years and years and years. So you have endurance, you have persistence this week on your side. You also have the letter Q, so you could be questioning something as well, questioning maybe what you want to do or where you want to go, but mostly it could just be like a street name, a person's name. It could represent something really close to you. So the Q is more of a personal message for each of you. And then you also have, and another group had this as well, I believe it was group 2, thou shalt not kill. So this doesn't mean that you're killing anyone, don't worry. It just means that someone might be trying to kill your vibe, take your vibe, rain on your parade, right? They're trying to just, suck some of that exciting excitement that you have, that thrill that you have, that they're trying to take away from you, like the Seven of Inspiration was showcasing. That's what they're trying to take away. And if you have this endurance, this stubbornness, this they almost have sort of that cactus feel with the two arms spread out. I feel like you're just ready to be like, this is my space, and I'm ready to endure whatever it is. I believe in myself. I am firm in what I want to do, and whatever anyone else has to say doesn't matter, right? They can have their questions, their doubts, but they can leave it at the door. Because it really matters the way that you react to a situation versus how they do, because it says more about them than you. So you have here the react charm, which also can represent with that reflection charm, because reflecting can represent, looking back at old memories. But you have this reflect charm or reflect card, and then the react charm. And it's how do you react to something, or how do you look back at old memories and how that can help. So you might be feeling a bit nostalgic this week as well. So that's something to look into. Because you also have the, this is sort of a self-evaluation, self-love kind of charm, self-care kind of charm. But it's how you see yourself, right? Because that you have that star. You have this star right here, and then you have this star right here. So you're trying to illuminate something within yourself, and it's maybe even something you've been sort of digging around for, because the Seven of Inspiration, not only are you trying to push people away who are trying to, steal your inner light, but you're also shining on it. So you're trying to learn to believe in yourself, which means you're finding more of yourself. You're having some of that self-care be illuminated, and that hard work that you've had mentally be illuminated. So that's lovely to see. You also have the preparation charm, so you might be preparing yourself for other people already, because I know if I feel defensive or on defense, sometimes you feel like you need to be prepared mentally or physically for that. But this is the prepared charm, because if anyone's ever had a winter with icicles, you need to be prepared to get rid of them and do the maintenance to your house, or they're going to fall and it could be disastrous. As they are very pointed and very sharp, and it doesn't take much when they get melted. So this is being prepared, looking around the corner, doing those things that you might need to be doing this week that don't necessarily have to do with like these big inspired ideas, but could just be being prepared for what's ahead. So just making sure that you're checking on those things, like especially like with those mundane tasks, like checking on bills, making sure, everything's safe and secure, checking on those things and making sure you're feeling prepared for different things. So if you are ready to start on this new Muse exciting adventure, what do you need to be prepared with? What do you need? What supplies are you going to need? Those sorts of things. You have another message talking about reflecting or looking at the past, feeling nostalgic, because you have the very old penny. This is from 1912. So that is right next to, so maybe that date has something to do for you. But you also have here the letter D. So this can represent a dad, a father. Again, like with the Q, it can represent something more personal to you from your past here, maybe even a friendship. You also have the opening yourself up charm, because you have a little shell here. I don't know if you can see it, so it's like a little tiny little shell, and it was facing this way, which represents, that you've opened yourself up. And this represents, I have a couple different pieces of a puzzle, but this one I always felt when I was a kid that these looked like little people's heads. So this might be people trying to put you in a corner, but what you realize is it isn't a corner, just like the Seven of Inspiration is showing, that it's really an opening, because it's a wall, which represents there could be a door there could be other things. A corner is only a corner if you don't believe in yourself, or don't believe that you believe in their lies, that other people might put on you. But this can also represent support too, that people are supporting you from all corners. So that's really exciting. It could be either side, especially since you're opening yourself up. You just might be pushing all of that away and letting that friendship, those groups of people that are truly there for you, you're opening yourself up to them and pushing away the people who are not on your side or supporting you. And lastly, here at the new moon, which was very recent to when this is specifically posted, but again, this is a timeless reading, so you could interpret this differently depending on the moon cycle you are currently in, but the new moon is all about new opportunities, new beginnings, a new cycle, and a fresh start. And you have here the Ace of Pentacles. So you might be starting something new or a new exciting adventure, starting with finances or business or a financial endeavor, anything like that. Might be starting and igniting this week. So that's exciting as well. And it might even have to do with this new inspired idea of yours. So with all of that said, let's go ahead and look at everything that you have, and we can see and do a little recap here. So you might be reflecting on the past this week. So you might be reflecting because you have something about a D here that you might be reflecting on here. Even a person possibly, since there is a silhouette of, Lincoln and a penny. So that might be a male or just in general a person. Then you have react, so that was stating again more reflection, possibly on something you need to be prepared about as well. You also have pain is a part of growing, so I feel like you've already gone through some of the pain and you're growing out of it, right? You're ready to endure much more than these people are trying to hold you back with. And you also have believe in yourself and build healthy habits. So building healthy habits can have to do with that self-care, self-love sort of part of your life, but it also can just be in general building those habits that you've been working on recently. You also have the Knight of Inspiration and the Eight of Inspiration, so something fast and something quick and something exciting is really igniting in you because you have such forward movement happening here with both the horse and this like racer sort of girl. So and lastly, you have friendship. So I feel like there are authentic friendships, and then there might be people in your life who are trying to be sort of fake friends, and you're going to maybe have to reflect on that this week to figure out who's truly there for you and who maybe is the people that are creating this darkness and not letting your star shine. So with all of that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. I truly did. I'm really excited. There's so much confidence and power behind this. You are very similar to group 2, so if you are interested, go ahead and check out group 2 as well. But please be sure to give this video a like if you did enjoy the video and enjoyed this reading. It really does help the channel and lets me know that you enjoyed this video. So to those of you who have already liked the video, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And also, let me know in the comments down below anything about these friendships, anything about this new inspired idea that you have, or anything to do with the charms that you'd like to have a chat about, because I love having a conversation in the comments. It doesn't have to be long. Just check in, anything you'd like to say. We love to bring and spread positivity, so thank you if you've commented so far. I appreciate it. And lastly, if you are new to the channel, welcome. It's lovely to have you here, and I really do hope you enjoyed this reading. I do these Monday readings obviously every Monday, these weekly readings, and then I also do timeless and other fun readings having to do with your monthly blessings. So feel free to check out the September one that's currently out, or the one that is most recent to when you are watching this for the month that you are currently in. And please be sure to subscribe as you are new, and I'd love to have you join this community if you are interested, and also hit the notification bell, as YouTube sometimes does not always showcase all the videos that I put out. So if you hit that notification bell, you are guaranteed to see and make sure you don't miss out on these next weekly readings. So with all of that said, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!